Bridges. They can be either literal or a metaphor for our lives. In order to move from one place to another, we have to cross a bridge here and there. Burn a bridge and you can't progress. Bridges have been an integral part of our society and history for thousands of years. But bridges don't age like a fine wine, and they aren't all created equal. Hang out with us until the end to find out why some bridges weren't built with humans in mind. Titlis Cliff Walk. Mountains are majestic, and they remind us of how small we really are. Mount Titlis is located in the Uri Alps. Like its neighbors, the mountain has a beautiful snow-capped landscape that takes the breath away of anyone who gazes upon it. There you can also try your hand at crossing the Titlis Cliff Walk. It opened in 2012 and was said to be the highest suspension bridge in Europe at the time. Not only that, but it is also known as the most dangerous. It sits nearly 10,000 feet above sea level and is over 1,640 feet off the ground. Apparently, it only takes about 150 steps to cross the bridge, but they are the most terrifying 150 steps you'll ever take. Due to its location, the bridge was designed to handle massive snowstorms and high winds. Should you decide to take the risk, you'll be rewarded with some of the most breathtaking views you'll ever see. The bridge is reportedly safe, but given its height and location, we're not sure we'd want to take the risk. Even the Titanic was considered to be safe once upon a time. Kakum Canopy Walk. The Kakum Canopy Walk is a trail of precariously hung suspension bridges in Ghana's Kakum National Park. These rope-style bridges allow humans to experience a part of the jungle that's usually reserved for birds and climbers. Created in 1995, this rickety-looking walkway consists of 7 bridges that are hung over 100 feet above the ground. While it may seem like the walkway was created entirely from material found in the forest, it's supposedly sturdy. There's even a safety net to catch you in the unlikely event that you fall off. However, one TripAdvisor user posted a review saying that the construction of the bridge isn't well maintained, and that the bridge should be avoided at all costs. Noticing that a bunch of screws are missing from the structure is not something that you want to experience while you're 100 feet up in the air. Another visitor, who went in 2014, reported that the national park was downplaying the safety concerns that were being raised about the walkway. Of course, there are other tourists who have had wonderful experiences on this canopy walkway, so it's entirely up to you to decide if you want to take the risk or not. Tianmen Mountain Skywalk. This bridge is known as one of the scariest attractions in China. Located deep in the Hunan province is the Tianmen Mountain. If you want to get to the top of the mountain, you'll have to take the longest cable car ride in the world. That's an actual record, by the way, as it takes about 30 minutes to get to the top. The mountain itself has become a bit of a tourist attraction, and one of its most popular and potentially dangerous attractions is the Skywalk. Also known as the Coiling Dragon Cliff Skywalk, it's nearly 1,000 feet up in the air. What makes it even more intimidating is that the bottom of the skywalk is made of glass. If you have any kind of fear of heights or even vertigo, you might want to avoid this skywalk. You might just lose your balance and fall off. The skywalk is a little over 5 feet wide and is over 328 feet long. If you're brave enough to take the walk, you'll be treated to some of the most wondrous views of the area, especially when you look down. Hussaini Hanging Bridge. The Hussaini Hanging Bridge is quite scary to look at. You might even assume that this is a bridge that had been out of commission for a very long time. But in reality, it was an active bridge that was used on a daily basis until 2011. Located in a region of northern Pakistan, the Hussaini Hanging Bridge helps people to cross the Borat Lake. Before 1978, this area was completely isolated from the rest of the world due to the intense terrains and huge mountains that cut the area off from the rest of civilization. The only way people could travel was by airplane, but only the rich were able to afford that. The hanging bridge became a way for people to get around without having to spend a ton of money, but it did come at a cost. The rope bridge was missing numerous planks and it shook when the wind blew. Next to the bridge was the old bridge in a destroyed state, which was probably there to remind you just how great the new bridge was in comparison. Despite its dangers, it was one of the most popular tourist destinations in Pakistan. Though it was believed to have been swept up in a monsoon in 2011, we're sure that its remnants are sitting right next to an even newer bridge. Mackinac Bridge. Known as one of North America's scariest bridges, the Mackinac Bridge connects the upper and lower peninsulas of Michigan. Its roadway sits 200 feet over the water and it's over 26,000 feet long. It is one of the longest suspension bridges in the world. While this massive suspension bridge is mostly safe, it still has a major hazard: the wind. In fact, many drivers are so freaked out about crossing the bridge that the Mackinac Bridge Authority will drive your car or motorcycle over for free. For them, it's easier to have an employee drive a car across than to have a nervous driver freeze up on the road, potentially causing a dangerous situation. The bridge is equipped to shift up to 35 feet to the right or left to accommodate temperature changes, high winds, and unexpected weight loads. There are 31 expansion joints to help it move. This bridge has garnered a reputation for also being one of the most beautiful bridges in the world. But beauty can sometimes be dangerous. As long as you play it safe and don't overwhelm yourself, the Mackinac Bridge can be a safe endeavor. Carrick-a-Reed Rope Bridge. The Carrick-a-Reed Rope Bridge is located near Ballintoy in Northern Ireland. The rope bridge connects two cliffs together and passes over the Atlantic Ocean. Because the rope bridge can be unstable in turbulent weather conditions, it is often closed. That might be your first red flag when it comes to evaluating the danger involved in crossing this bridge. The bridge sits almost 100 feet above sea level and leads to Carrick-a-Reed Island, which boasts a fisherman's cottage as its only building. The bridge was actually built more than 350 years ago by fishermen, and it has remained a popular attraction ever since. It can only hold about 8 pedestrians at a time. In 2017, vandals tried to cut down the rope bridge, which makes us want to avoid it even more. What makes this bridge so terrifying is that you're practically walking on a tightrope. The bridge itself is incredibly narrow, and you have to walk with one foot in front of the other to keep your balance. Given that the rails are made from rope, who knows how much weight you can put on the sides without them collapsing? The bridge has become quite popular with adrenaline junkies, and it is known as a unique attraction in Northern Ireland. Vitim River Bridge. Located in Siberia, Russia, the Vitim River Bridge is quite possibly the most terrifying bridge in the world. It looks like it hasn't been maintained in years, which is pretty accurate. With a length of over 1,500 feet, the Vitim River Bridge was originally built to be used by trains. This explains why there are no safety barriers on either side of it. A safer structure was then built, but the old Vitim River Bridge was never taken down. The bridge is now part of the BAM Road in Siberia, which attracts thrill seekers from around the world to attempt to drive over it. While it's still possible to traverse it, we don't know why anyone would want to take the risk. The bridge is fairly narrow, even for a standard car, and it is often slick with ice. Couple that with the fact that you're teetering over a frigid river, and the prospect of crossing it is even more terrifying. Aiguille du Midi. The Aiguille du Midi Bridge is one of the shortest bridges in this video, and yet it's still as terrifying as ever. It's located in the Alps at the Mont Blanc massive mountain ridge. Getting to the bridge requires a cable car that takes people up the mountain at 12,600 feet. The bridge itself is nearly 12,400 feet above ground. The bridge is made of steel and glass, and it hangs between two rocky mountains. Not intimidating at all, right? To be fair, this is probably one of the most secure bridges on this list. However, it's also narrow, so you're dealing with traffic going in both directions. If people are able to muster their fear of heights, they can see some of the most fantastic views of the Alps from this bridge. Even in the summer, the temperatures can get frigid up there. Not only do you have to prepare for the cold, but you'll also need protection from the sun. As long as you don't look down and forget that you're thousands of feet in the air with no safety net, you'll be just fine. Bridge of the Immortals. In the Anhui province of eastern China are the Yellow Mountains. There, a small bridge known as the Bridge of the Immortals helps people go from one place to another. The bridge is also known as the Fairy Walking Bridge due to how magical it looks. Before the bridge came into existence, locals had to cross a hanging path that was wildly unsafe. Many people ended up falling and losing their lives. That is why the bridge is known as the Bridge of the Immortals. Around 1987, the bridge was constructed and provided a much safer alternative for locals and tourists. To get to the side of the bridge, you do have to walk on the side of a mountain, which can be pretty intimidating since there isn't anything to prevent you from falling off the side. The bridge has a reputation for being one of the highest bridges in the world. In addition to the bridge and hike, there is an alternate route that consists only of 3 planks and a chain to hang onto. But that's a bit too risky for our taste. Hanging Bridge of Gaza. What's good enough for the animals should be good enough for humans, right? You don't see the Hanging Bridge of Gaza on many popular tourist sites. Located in Nepal, it is not only used to help people travel, but also for herding cattle. As with any hanging bridge, there are risks involved. The bridge does look like it has seen better days, but the locals seem unfazed as they herd many animals across the bridge daily. Regular high gusts of wind also make the bridge unsteady, and the bridge is narrower than what we're comfortable with. For a tourist who's unfamiliar with the bridge and how it works, crossing it would be a dangerous task. The bridge is about 230 feet high and 450 feet long. If it makes you feel any better, it was built to handle cattle, and cattle aren't light. With this in mind, if a cow isn't scared of crossing the bridge, why should we be? Well, most sheep and cattle can only cross the bridge calmly as long as they have blinders on. So, in reality, the bridge is so scary that shepherds have to trick most of the animals into crossing. That makes us feel so much better.